Hi and welcome to Studio Wildlife. My name's Daniel and this is my incredibly talented fiance Amber. If you're new here, Amber is an amazing realistic wildlife artist. And if you've been following me for a while, you will know just how long I've been trying to get her on the channel. And we've finally done it! Amber is bringing out a full video course on how to paint a lion in acrylics.
It's so nice to be finally doing this, even if it is a little bit scary, but I'm so excited about the course and I can't wait to share it with you.
This video is going to be a little bit of a preview as well as some of her top tips for painting lions. This is Amber's first time filming properly like this, so please do flood all of the comments with really nice things.
So my first tip is don't skip the underpainting. Even though these first layers are going to be covered up with more paint, creating an initial underpainting will help you so much in the later stages of the process. I know it can be so tempting to jump straight into those final details, but resist that temptation. This step helps lay the foundation so that you can properly establish the proportions and values of the painting. You can basically figure out how light or dark an area is before you even think about colour. This stage is absolutely crucial for my process. It can be tempting to skip ahead to the fun parts, but it's really important that you don't just think about the layer of paint that you see at the end. I find the underpainting stage is key for getting to know your subject and preparing yourself for any issues you might encounter later on in the painting. My next tip is about brushes. Don't be afraid to start bigger and use lots of different shapes and sizes throughout the process. Let's think about the mane. Even though it's made up of lots of fine strands, start out with bigger brushes to paint the form of the mane. Look where the biggest sections are and where the layers of the mane part. Only move on to the details once you have that structure in place. The same goes for the face. Focus on the bone structure and the planes of the face before even thinking about texture and fur detail. This will help you build realistic form and depth in your painting. Variety is also really important. You don't want your brushstrokes looking too uniform, as most lions, well actually pretty much every furry animal has wild and messy fur. Keeping everything too uniform just looks a lot less natural. Tip number 3 is pay attention to the length of the fur. Lions actually have very short strands of fur on their faces. I see beginners paint from references where the fur is blurred together in the photo, so they overcompensate and make their fur strands too long, giving an almost cartoony look to the lion. A bit of a bonus tip here is don't just focus on the length of the fur but also the direction of the fur. The direction the fur lies in changes so much across the lion's face and mane, so using brushstrokes in the same direction as your reference, with good accuracy, will help you achieve a more realistic result. Using brushstrokes that follow the contours of the lion will help build a better sense of form than brushstrokes that just follow a single direction. Tip number 4 helps fix a problem I see in a lot of beginners' work. Don't be afraid to push the contrasts. This is something I address more in my course. Sometimes wildlife paintings can look a little bit flat and lack that three-dimensional form. Sometimes a reference photo doesn't have a great deal of depth and variation, and sometimes you can rely on that reference a little bit too much. It's okay to step away from your reference and add more shadows and highlights if you feel it would make a more interesting painting. Then my final tip, and possibly the most important, is don't overdo the details. Think about what the most important features and details of the painting are. It can be quite easy to overdo the details and lose that soft look to the fur. One of my favourite brushes for painting fur is quite old and frayed, and it's perfect for getting a soft but textured appearance that doesn't appear too overdone. We want to vary the amount of rendered detail throughout the painting. For me, I tend to focus most of the details around the eyes, as that's where I want to draw the most attention. It's the focal point of the painting. Also, it's important to realise that it's okay to leave things out. I took the reference photo for this lion myself. It had a few scars which I would normally include in my larger paintings as it adds interest and a sense of character. However, as this painting is very small, they could have been distracting, so I chose to leave them out. My HD reference photo as well as the traceables and edited reference are included when you buy my course. It's the same with the whiskers above the eyes. Even though the lion had them in the reference photo, they were so fine that you could hardly see them. They would make no noticeable impression on a painting of this size, so that's why I decided not to include them. By focusing on what the most important features are to you, you can really hone in on what you want to achieve and where you want to direct the viewer's eye. This creates a much more interesting and engaging painting. The colours I use vary with every lion that I paint and the lighting I want to capture in the overall piece. But as a general rule, I will mostly use yellow ochre, raw sienna, burnt umber, black and white. For me, these colours are the foundation for mixing the warm and neutral colours we see in lions. What I find with every acrylic painting that I do is that you've just got to have patience. Because acrylics dry so quickly, there is only so much you can do in one layer. So it's really important not to get disheartened if your painting doesn't take shape early on. You really just have to trust the process and keep going. The great thing about acrylics is that you can just keep layering until you're happy with the painting. I normally use at least 5 layers of acrylics in my work, and I show each one of them in full in the tutorial. This tutorial is the first time I've ever shown or spoken about my process in full, and honestly, I've been really nervous about putting it out there. It's been over a year in the making, and about 80% of that time has just been me plucking up the courage to release it. I'm completely self-taught, so my process is something that I've taken years and years to figure out and find something that works for me. I really hope that if you decide to watch and follow along with the tutorial, that it answers some of your questions that you might have about painting with acrylics.
Wow, so many great tips, and not even close to what you can learn from the full real-time video course. I sat down and edited nearly 7 hours of real-time painting footage. And Amber shares so many different techniques that I picked up a load that I will be using in my painting processes in the future. I'll leave a link in the description for the course so that you can support Amber and follow along with the real-time process for how to paint the exact lion from this video. I would love to get Amber back on the channel, but I need your help to convince her. Let's all show Amber some support by commenting on the video and telling her what a great job she's done. As always, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we'll both see you next time.